Roca, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 8, Section 4, Number 3, which reads, in a random sample of 200 cars of a particular model, 3 have a manufacturing defect. At this rate, how many of 10,000 cars of the same model will have a manufacturing defect? So, whenever there's 3 values, see if you can set up a proportion. And how do you know if you could set up a proportion? Well, you have 2 pairs of units. What we've got is 200 cars, 3 with a manufacturing defect. Then we've got 10,000 cars, how many have a manufacturing defect? You can also look at it as 200 cars to 10,000 cars, 3 have a manufacturing defect, how many have a manufacturing defect? That being said, there's 4 correct ways to set up a proportion. So if you set it up a certain way, that's why you might find proportions confusing. Just set it up the way you feel comfortable with. So I like to do this. 200, I might put a little C here for cars, but keep in mind that that's not a variable. Over 3, and I could put D, meaning defect. That's just to keep myself straight. Now I know cars has to be on top. So if I put 10,000, it's a comma, C, and then it's how many have a defect. Now X is really your only variable here. Other ways to set it up, if I flip this fraction, I could say that there are 3 defects in 200 cars, and how many defects are there in 10,000 cars? Or I could say if 200 cars have 3 manufacturing defects, then 10,000 cars have how many manufacturing defects? Lastly, I can flip this fraction and say 10,000 cars over 200 cars equals how many defects. So if 10,000 is how many defects and 200 is 3 defects. Any way you set this up, what you notice is that the product of the means equals the product of the extremes. What does that mean? That means when you cross multiply and set equal, it's the same. So here you get 200x equals 30,000d. 200x equals 30,000d. 200x equals 30,000d. And 200x equals 30,000d. So any way you put it, like I said, 200x equals 30,000. D, I'm just going to leave that off. We're just really solving for x here. If I divide both sides by 200, notice what happens. Whenever you're just dividing by, and both things end in zeros, you can just chop them off. That's like dividing top and bottom by 10. I chop another set off. It's like dividing the top and bottom by 100 if I chop 2 zeros off in each. And then how many times does 2 go into 300? It goes 150 times. Your correct answer here is going to be A. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with proportions. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.